So, how to do impressions. I think the first thing to know.
Okay, something that is very clear is that
how to do impressions. I think the first thing to know.
When it says first thing to know is definitely a different, it's a different bit. So the doubts that I'm having when I'm hearing this is if so and
how to do impressions.
How to do impressions is part of the same bit or not. But because of that time difference that there is like a pause, he says like so, and we have that. That can be something that is telling me maybe to separate them in two different bits, though we have lots of pauses and lots of the actor takes a lot of time sometimes in this audio, as you may hear, to continue talking. That doesn't mean that all the pauses are gonna tell us to do a beat break, maybe or maybe not, let's see. But in this case I think it's necessary because the way he's saying saw and the way I created it I took the video reference there, is like if saw is that saw. It's like a little, the communication and the emotion and that
how to do
feels a little different than how to do impressions. The how to do impressions is like, okay, now it's clear, I'm gonna tell you straight, I'm gonna share with you my wisdom. But that saw is still more like thinking, he's thinking about it. So I can see that there is some differences between one or the another. So probably what we're gonna do is we're gonna have saw as the first bit.
So
this is gonna be our first bit, and then
how to do impressions.
How to do impression is gonna be the second bit.
So how to.
So I'm gonna hear one. Before this, I'm gonna have here two. So we have clearly first, and then second.
How to do impressions.
And after here, I know that it's gonna be the third.
I think the first thing to know.
In first thing to know.
I think the first thing to know. Impressions. I think the first. I think the first thing to know. How to do impressions.
Here is gonna be three. Okay.
So
more or less, I think is clear which are gonna be the main golden poses. This is the one that we're gonna be looking for. I'm gonna be marked like that, more or less. And this is the one that we are gonna be working later to add depth. I will feel and I will get each single golden pose, and I will work them separately in order to push them, in order to really find the mojo, in order really to find where is the nice feeling of this pose. This is just an idea. I'm not gonna follow and pose this pose 100% as I see it. I'm just gonna use this as a reference. That's why we call it video reference. So this is the first bit with the first golden pose. Let's see then how it looks the next bit and what could be the golden pose. Actually, it's clear. How to do impressions. That kind of looking down. How to do impressions. That's like I'm confident. I'm telling you what I'm gonna tell you a very important secret. I'm gonna share with you all my wisdom. That's the other golden pose that we want to do. This one. Okay, next bit.
I think the first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap it. The first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in.
So one thing is for sure is that all this sentence is very long. He says all this from here.
First thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. So
here in 240 more or less there's like a clear difference. So here a new bit is going to happen. I don't know which one yet, but so I have clarity at least that in this part here, there's either one or several bits. Let's hear this again.
The first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. The first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just. The thing to know is that the first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in.
Okay, I think I'm gonna separate because it's different how he says.
The first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just. The first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically.
When he says automatic,
you can't just leap in there.
Or you can just leap in there. It feels like he's continue the elaboration, so it feels like a little bit more deep. The very beginning feels like he's still thinking about it. It's a little more vague, or it's a little bit more lazy talking.
The thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically.
The first thing to know is that automatic. It's like first, and also as I'm acting it out, it feels like I'm still bringing all the information that I have to my head, right? So I think
first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. You can't just leap.
When he says you can just live in there, it's going to be another bit.
Automatically, you can't just. Automatically, you can't just leap. Automatically.
Here's going to be another one. So this was 3. So this is the bit number 3.
First thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically.
Automatic. The next one.
You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in.
Feels like the end, he's like when you are talking and you are totally disconnecting. This is actually pretty much what I was feeling many times while I was doing the audio, that I got sometimes very relaxed and confident, and not only confident, I was feeling this kind of peaceful and leaving my body as I was talking. It's like I don't really care about what I'm saying. I don't know if you really are understanding anything of what are you saying. I'm just saying it, whatever. So it feels like the last part of this part here,
and do De Niro or walk in.
Or walking, feels like he's totally disconnecting, right? So I may separate this into two. Different bits.
Leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. You can't just leap in there and do De Niro or walk in. And just leap in there and do De Niro or leap in there and do De Niro.
Yeah, I think that when he starts saying and do De Niro or walk in, he's a little bit in another kind of mood.
And leap in there and do De Niro.
So that means that if this is number 3,
the first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically.
This means that this is number 4. Number 4 is going to be this.
That you can't just leap in there
and this is going to be number 5.
And do De Niro or walk in.
Right? Okay. Let me find which are going to be the golden poses of these ones.
Impressions. I think the first thing to know is that it doesn't just start automatically. The first thing to know is that it doesn't just start.
The first thing to know is that it's like, okay, let me tell you an important part of all this argument. Let me just tell you, and I think it's going to be this one here. He's also going back. The first thing to know is that that's the core of that particular bit. The next bit, the number 4, is this.
That you can't just leap in there and do. That you can't just leap in there and.
It's like don't think it's so easy, really. I'm gonna clarify this for you.